we're happy to have Councillor Agostino joining us this week because there was big news for the downtown announced last week with the city announcing that BK Cornerstone was the successful proponent to build housing on the Palliser Street parking lot located just south of Wyandotte and on Palliser. The proposal calls for a $16.8 million development with 48 purpose-built rental units, many of which will be attainable, affordable, or accessible, maybe all three. BK Cornerstone is heavily invested downtown, having recently completed the Hive residential building just up the street on Palliser on the old Don Cherry site. So, Councillor Agostino, tell us a bit more about this development and what you're excited about with it.
It's really another step in the right direction for downtown. Like I say this to people all the time. We just don't want you to come downtown. We want to keep you there, right? And the only way we're going to keep you there is if you can live there. And that's not just the future of our downtown. I believe that's the future of all downtowns across across this continent. Really, when you see the shift that's been happening, we're going to need to find a way to fill some empty spaces. And what better way to fill empty spaces than with people? And my mantra is that one day downtown will be the most vibrant neighborhood in the country. And this is another step in the direction of going that way because it's housing that matters, right? And having people living in that area is going to really do a lot to revitalize that part of downtown. And we've already seen little pockets of rebirths that are happening down there. And certainly that area where we just named the Market District is something that we've been focusing on. And as soon as we had started having discussions for areas in our boards where we could pick a municipal land that we thought could be used for a housing project, that was the first one that I looked at because it connects the dots, right? So there's a lot going on, and and again, proven winners, right? I think we maybe had, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say, but I think we maybe had 4 or 5 bids come in, and it came down to 2, and this one was the best one for downtown, and I'm glad council and the mayor's office and everybody saw it that way, and here we go. Shovels, I saw today, people are out there working today, so they already cut a hole in the ground. So it hasn't been long that they waited to start work.
Let's talk about the other things that are exciting you in the downtown. I mean, we've got summer coming up, some cultural stuff. You talked about when it's now the Market District, I guess. So we've got the market. That I saw pictures. It was packed this weekend. Talk to us about what else is going on downtown.
Well, before we walk away from the housing, we had a conference last week downtown. The night before we announced it, and we earmarked that there's $1 billion in residential investment going into downtown Windsor over the next 10 years. $1 billion. So that's a big deal, right? And you can see that shows that there's confidence in people can see the vision. They see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, this summer it's going to be another action-packed summer of events. We have a ton of stuff going on. Obviously, I work very closely with the DWBIA, and I just literally got the call before I got here that we're going to be bringing back our Friday night series at City Hall at the new at the Square. So there's always a huge amount of fun things to do downtown. Whether it's we're going to have live boxing, we're going to bring back the wrestling, we're going to bring back the concerts, the car cruise. Like we have so many events going on downtown, and it's really. I was having this conversation with someone the other day. There once was a point in time where summers in Windsor Essex, you're like, not much to like.
Nothing to do.
Now, there's literally every weekend there's something to do, whether it's in the county or it's in the city, in the core, in Walkerville. There's always stuff going on here. So it's really,
we got World Cup coming up too. We won't talk about who won't be playing.
Yeah,
but
listen, I also called and said cancel the FIFA event. I'm done. I'm done.